Hi there. One of the most common questions I get about personal productivity is how can I block out distractions at work? I've done several podcasts on this question and we've done a deep dive into distractions and how that works. But for now, I'll just give you the shortest version that is going to work. The most valuable strategy to block out distractions is to implement a tickler file system. Distractions are a significant challenge because they steal our attention away from where it's supposed to be. And if we let distractions get out of hand, then we will actually interrupt the work that we're doing to get up and take care of the distraction. Now, the challenge of dealing with distraction is that it's a signal from your brain. And what it means is that you're storing tasks. You're using your brain as your task reminder system. And your brain only has one mechanism to remind you, and that's to bubble these things up at infrequent, inconvenient, and probably not the most useful intervals. So when we start dealing with distractions, we move those things out of our skull and out into a system. And that's great because it clears our skull and removes the possibility, it removes the fuel for distraction. But it also creates a big pile of paper that we have to keep track of. So, what we'll need to do is implement a tickler file. So, it's a tickler file, sometimes called the suspense file. It's been around for 100 years. And it's a set of folders organized by day and month. And what it does is it creates for you a reminder system. A reminder system allows you to postpone tasks and to do so systematically and effectively in ways that you won't forget to do the task. Now, this is important because your brain has to trust the system in order to let go of that task and thus not produce these distractions for you. Okay, so implementing a tickler file can do actually several things for you. One is, as I said, it manages these postponement decisions. You have to postpone work. You can't do everything at once. And so as you make those postponement decisions, you need to manage them and track them. And a tickler file is great for that. A tickler file that you implement according to my instructions will reduce reliance on alarm style reminders. The only way a computer can notify you is an alarm style reminder, an event based. So it's either time or event based. And these things never happen. They always come up as an interruption. Now, sometimes that's what you're looking for. Other times you just set an alarm based reminder and it's during a work period and it interrupts you at the inappropriate time. So instead of using alarm based reminders or instead of exclusively using alarm based reminders, the tickler file will allow you to use process based reminders. And in that way, you'll have fewer things that you feel like your computer needs to ping and ding at you all the time. Another great property of the tickler file is that it provides a forward looking system. It will give you some data that you need about how busy you're going to be over the next days or a week or so. Once you implement it and start using it properly, you can look into it and say, wow, I've got a lot of tasks coming up next Tuesday. And that'll help you with your planning. Finally, it's simple to implement. It's 43 manila folders, and you organize them in certain ways in a drawer in your office or in a file holder of some type. And it helps you, it's a rolling 30 days of information about what your task list should be and what it looks like. Now, I do want to give you a note here. A tickler file is a powerful tool for task management. Unfortunately, in order to deal with all of the issues around productivity, we need more than just a task management system. We need a personal information management system. And that's going to include a backlog. It's going to include workflows around how to capture things and process them. In the bigger picture, that's the attention compass, and that's why I built it. But in the very short term, just as a band-aid approach, go ahead and implement a tickler file. Once you see the power of ejecting things out of your skull into your system, I think you'll want a more robust system. At that point, you can come back and we'll talk about attention compass. I've created a podcast for you and want to make sure and put that in your hands. I would recommend on this one, I would recommend podcast number 34, the Do Busy Right podcast, episode number 34. It's called A Deep Dive on Dealing with Distraction. And I'll put a link to that episode in the show notes. It's a little longer and it goes into more detail about what distractions are and how we can best deal with them. So I'll leave it there for now. Get out there and do busy right.